Hello, everybody. Welcome to World 101 Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie V. Joining me is the newly married man. Well, he's been married already, but he is my co-host, my ride or die bro, him, the Red Velvet Cake himself, Mr. Larry Gibbons, the Red Noted Piece.
Well, foes, I am totally drinking the good shit. I am getting drunk tonight, and I am straight up drinking a whole bottle of fucking champagne straight out of the bottle.
That's what can I tell you? Okay, because so we was talking earlier, and I seen you swig it, and I was just like, what is he drinking? Is that the?
There's a whole bottle of fucking champagne to myself.
Is that the Moet?
No, that's the martini.
Did y'all go through everything or not yet?
No, I've still got this, and I think I got one more bottle of the martini in the fridge.
So, that's amazing, dude. I literally had a blast, and I was in Larry's wedding party. So once again, Larry, thank you for having me. I know one of these things wasn't like the other.
You turned Eddie into a Sesame Street racist joke.
Oh goodness, no! I'm still upset about the little the needle thing that you showed me at the mall. That mess, dude. I literally so we went out. We saw Jack Reacher yesterday. Me and my friend, and then we went to Applebee's to go talk. And I was talking to him about the wedding, and I brought up the needle thing, and I was just like, dude, you would have been upset. They had this needle dispenser where you close to where your baby gets changed at. And because I love my friend, because he's my bro, he's more than just a co-host. He's just like kind of family to me. He put a caption on this mug that I fell out laughing.
I mean, I understand why it's there, you've got like diabetics and shit like me, and people that are on like anti-rejection meds for transplant shit and all that. But it's just it was the placement, and I know I'm a terrible human being, and that was the first joke that popped into my head.
I
couldn't help it. There was a little needle sharps dispenser in the bathroom at the mall, and it's right next to the baby changing station. And it made me laugh because all I could think is I'm like, I'm all for do what you want, but I think we've gotten a little lax when, we're okay with people shooting up heroin at the mall by the baby changing station.
Just a mess. A literal mess. And I fell out with the hairdressers probably looking at me, just be like, this dude. Oh, and it was just so funny. But I had such a great time. Dude, really, if I was able to come back again this weekend, I would, or even last weekend, because I was just, the stuff that I should say that happened in your area really wanted me just to drive down and take you guys out to eat. Like, okay, I'm sorry, let's go to King Gyros, or let's go to the Pancake House, and let's have lunch, breakfast, whatever, and just eat, and just relax and feel good. But how are you, though? How you feeling now?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm sitting here playing some Castle Crashers Remastered, realizing, because I booted it up thinking, I hadn't played it yet. I'm sitting here thinking, Castle Crashers was already great. I mean, what else do you do to that? And, I'm like, it's not like it wasn't in high def already. But I'm sitting here playing it, and it's just like everything looks so much smoother and cleaner. I'm just like, I was not expecting it. I'm sitting here thinking it's like, what a useless fucking waste of time, when I was looking at it just on my list of available games. And I start playing, I'm like, okay, no, this is fair. So that and yesterday morning, I finally got around to finishing Ori and the Blind Forest, and it's fucking amazing. Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, you're so further than me. I'm sorry, I really need to get to that game and finish it. Oh.
Are you playing the original or are you playing Definitive Edition? I'm
playing the original because when I bought my Xbox One, it came with the system.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the 1 terabyte combo pack, so I got Gears of War Ultimate, I got the Rare Replay, and Ori and the Blind Forest. So I got like 35 games on my system.
Right on. But yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest is fucking magnificent.
Yeah.
Like you can get the definitive edition for a whopping $20, but I would totally spend $50 on that, hands down, easy. It's beautiful. The gameplay is magnificent. There's a few spots that I think could have used a little work, just in terms of fairness and reasonability. But other than that, I mean, it's so good. There's no excuse to not play that.
Yeah, you know what? Ever since they showed it at E3 for that sold me on the Xbox One, and because I'm not a big PC player, I just seen this game and was just like, this is gorgeous. And I'm glad it's not on PS4. I'm sorry, Sony owners, but if you don't have an Xbox One, or if you have a PC,
get it on PC.
Get it on PC. If you're an Xbox One player, this is a game that needs to be on your system. Like it's beautiful. It's beyond, to me, it's beyond emotional and beyond beautiful. It represents kind of what I like about indie games, like just in general.
Oh God, it's so good. I want more of it. I have one caveat with that game, really, and I think everybody already bitched about it when it came out in the reviews, and that's the simple fact that for a Metroidvania game, that you get to the end and you're locked in. You don't get to go back and go exploring for everything else, that you missed. Yeah. That's really the only criminal shame. But beyond that, it's so fantastic.
Yeah.
The music is just gorgeous. The art is stunning. The play is phenomenal. And dear God, the opening of that will make like Up, the beginning of Up, look like a fucking happy movie.
Yeah. If you have not seen the trailer, you need to watch the trailer to understand the opening. But actually seeing it live, it gives it a new meaning to emotion, like relationship. It gives a new meaning to a relationship of being a parent, I should say. Like, you kind of really get emotional, and because I don't have kids or anything, like, you see how impactful, because I don't want to ruin it or anything, you kind of see how impactful what happens to a particular character.
It's so well told too. It's a very minimalist story, but it's so well told.
Yes. It seems that you also tried ReCore, I think.
Well, it's installing with that enormous fucking update that's 5.5 goddamn gigs. So I haven't gotten to touch it yet. And so I'm sitting here playing Castle Crashers instead.
Oh, don't worry.
Because I don't want to try and run my internet connection with that and Skype at the same time, because it just doesn't go well.
Don't worry, because I fell asleep in installing Titanfall 2. And I was just like, oh, okay. But I have to say, Titanfall 2 is high up there as nominee for Game of the... Like, I will say this. If there's any FPS that I've played this year, it doesn't reach the level of goodness that Titanfall 2 is. And I am doing a review for it for Team Nerd, so I'll let people know when that will come out. But it oh my goodness, I know I can't wait to get through the campaign, but I've been telling people it's a mix of Metroid Prime, Super Mario, any 3D Mario game, Vanquish, and Prince of Persia, like on GameCube and PS2 and Xbox One, like that new version. It's so good. Oh my, just headshots are wonderful. The feeling of the gun is fantastic. I'm so happy that, and this is a part of the review, but it's not the full review. When you're going for headshots, like when you're being a sniper and you look and do the eyepiece and stuff, it doesn't make you feel like you're drunk or you're being on a ship. and just moving around. Like it's precise. You get a good feel of it and hit them in the head. Oh my goodness. It is funny. Gorgeous as ever. Like it really is gorgeous, and I'm playing the deluxe version on Xbox One. So more impressions and more the review will be out. I'm going to be trying to finish it up this week and have like the review out. But oh my goodness, I've been telling a couple of my friends that Gears of War 4 got some competition this year. As for nominee for Game of the Year, for me. So
speaking of Prince of Persia, well, we were down in Indy last weekend. We hopped into this little game shop that had just a phenomenal selection. And amongst other things, I found all 3 Prince of Persia games for the GameCube, complete copies for $6 a head.
Did you get them?
Oh, fuck yeah, I did. And on top of that, I also got myself a copy of Flipnik for the PS2, which makes me unbelievably happy, because if you like anything pinball at all, you need to play Flipnik.
Yes.
It's kind of like the only pinball game that goes, oh, hey, I'm a video game. I don't have to just be, here's a collection of tables that already exist in real life. You know, it actually has some brilliantly creative tables that just intermingle. It's like one giant pinball table in this weird 80s neon fantasy trip. And I can't begin to explain it in any way that really does it justice, other than the fact that I will never understand that why, when that came out on the PS2, that also did not come out on the PSP, because that would have looked great on that screen. It would have been a perfect little on-the-go game, too, and it boggles my mind. Oh. But on top of that, I also found myself a copy of Shadows of Destiny for PS2 and grabbed that immediately, because I missed that game terribly. Because it was a PlayStation 2 time-traveling puzzle game that was really fucking cool.
I've never heard of that one.
Do yourself a favor and look it up. I was also on the hunt for a couple of other odds and ends PS2 games that I didn't find, like Echo Night Beyond and Blood Will Tell, but I've had no luck with that so far.
Blood Will Tell. That sounds familiar.
Blood Will Tell was like this cyber ninja game thing where your character, instead of just running around with, holding swords, like his forearms flew off and you found out his forearms were sheaths for swords attached at the elbows and shit. And like he would take a knee and his kneecap would open and there was a fucking rocket launcher.
Is that for by Sega?
I think so.
I have that game.
I love Blood Will Tell.
Oh, yes.
The whole beginning of the game opens up in black and white because your character doesn't have eyes yet.
Yes. His body parts got taken by 48 demons or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
I've 100%ed that game. Amazing. It's a beat.
I love that game. It's fucking awesome.
If you have played Yakuza, it's in that same way, and it's based off of manga from Japan. It's based off of that. Oh my goodness. I played that game 100%, got everything, and fell in love with it. Because not only is it a beat 'em up, it's like almost like a platform, almost. Open world kind of platform.
Isn't that game fucking cool as shit, though?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I got my copy, I think for like $10 when it was like really available at GameStop. Because nobody knew about it. And I was just like, I remember reading about this. So I picked up the game. Amazing from beginning to ending.
I need a copy of that again because for some reason I know I had one years ago and I honestly don't remember ever getting rid of it and I don't know what the hell happened to it. All I know is I don't have one now and I miss it.
Once you start describing it, I'm like, that title sounds familiar. Yeah. Oh, it's such a great game. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you were not alone in your insanity. That game is actually fucking awesome, and you were not the only person that played it.
I'm so happy right now. Okay, but you also got to experience
one of my favorite movies of all time. They had a copy of Reign Over Me with Adam Sandler for $1.
Oh my goodness!
And if you haven't watched that movie, you need to watch that movie immediately.
I need to watch it.
Oh my god! Like, I know it's like the thing to rag on Sandler, but dead serious, that movie is absolutely heart-wrenching. in all the absolute correct ways. I could explain it, but it would ruin it, and it wouldn't do it any justice anyways. But watch it, and also if you're a fan of Shadow of the Colossus, you need to watch it as well.
A game that I need to finish before Lost. I actually need to.
You really haven't finished that?
I haven't finished Eco or Lost Guardian, and I have Lost Guardian. Shadow of the Colossus.
Eco I could take or leave, but Shadow of the Colossus needs to be finished.
Well, my friend has my PS3, so I got to get it back because I have the HD collection of it. And
Okay, fair enough.
I need to get through it, which is so weird. People haven't heard. Super Mario Maker for 3DS is coming out December 2nd, 4 days before The Last Guardian, and I'm kind of like, that's $100 that I gotta spend. Because I have to have that for 3DS, and I have to have that, even though I'm buying both versions of Pokemon, I have to have that game like now, almost. And
that's only 10 years in the fucking waiting.
The Last Guardian is I don't care if it's bad. I don't even care if it gets average reviews and people don't buy it. I'm getting that game because I've been.
I completely understand. It looks pretty as shit, and we've all been waiting this long for it and thinking that it probably just died somewhere repeatedly along the way. But to finally at least have it is. It needs to just be out and be over with.
Yeah.
Because this shit's gone on long enough.
Yes. Now, you also went to the Microsoft store that I seen, and you tried out VR.
Did. Apparently, it's the only Microsoft store in the entire fucking state of Indiana to boot.
Sure, it might be the only Microsoft store that's available to even go at, because I can't find none in Illinois.
Yeah, they said that they were the only actual Microsoft store in the state of Indiana. So, but they had an HTC Vive VR demo set up, and got to dink around with that. The wife actually really liked it. She quite enjoyed herself thoroughly playing that. I thought it was nifty. I think it handles really well, very competently. There was a couple bits of motion gesture stuff that I don't think read quite as well as it should have for it to do what it was supposed to do. I was playing one of the two demos and trying to pull my shield out by reaching your hand behind your back and pulling it forward like you're pulling a shield off your back, and it wasn't reading it every once in a while. But beyond that, I mean, it played really competently. I was actually pretty impressed. I think there are some visual fidelity issues to be had there, at least with the Vive. I can't speak to anything else because I haven't played anything else, but I will say that on the Vive that I played, you know how if you look at the Wii U gamepad, the screen on there, you can see the little dots, or the little crosses.
Yes.
You could see a lot of that on the on the display on the Vive, and I'm just like, it doesn't look bad, but man, if I was in the middle of something great and bright, that would be entirely distracting because at that point it just makes it kind of look grainy, and it's like, for as much as you're going to charge somebody for this, you should fix that. But it was a neat experience. Also, I was a complete dick. And I was playing around on one of their Xbox One displays that had YouTube sitting up, and immediately there was waiting to be queued up was the trailer for Breath of the Wild. So I sat there and started putting Nintendo trailers on at the Microsoft store.
I love you so much. I really love you so much. Because I kind of would have did the same thing. Especially, I'd be like, the Nintendo Switch. And just straight throw that on there.
Yeah, much.
How did you go to the Xbox One section? Did they have games for sale there?
They did. It was honestly, it was kind of a fairly standardish selection. There wasn't really anything super outstanding there, other than you could actually go hands on with the the $200 Elite controllers.
Yeah.
Which they're neat, but I still wouldn't pay $200 for it. But that's just me at this point. So, but I mean, it was a decently stocked selection, but pretty much all the stuff there was primarily the first party Microsoft stuff. But pretty much any first-party Microsoft game you want, you could find without having to, think about it. It was there. But really, honestly, it was more like just a corner of the store.
Oh, wow.
So,
did they have the Xbox One S up there?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How does it look in person?
Oh, a whole lot fucking smaller than this giant, murder weapon that I've got sitting in front of me.
Yes, me and Larry both have the original Xbox One.
Considerably smaller. So, I mean, if your entertainment center space is at a premium, it's not a bad thing, but I can't say that it's really a necessity. I also don't like the fact that it's in white, but again, like all the other stuff up on my entertainment center, like my Wii U and my PlayStation 2 and, everything else is fucking black, save for the exception of my GameCube, which is silver, but it's still got a black Game Boy Advance player on the bottom of it, so...
They will be coming out with a black Xbox One S. There's pictures of it that they show. I just don't know when. Probably for a holiday, and hopefully Black Friday, because that would kind of be cool. Black Friday, black Xbox One S.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's a nice piece of hardware. It's a lot more reasonable than the original, so I'll give it that.
All right, and that's that's what we've been playing, catching up on and enjoying. Yeah, I'm one more thing. I am getting Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare this Friday. I'm
not calling it that. I refuse to call it that.
Well,
from now on, it'll only be known as Call of Duty Infinite What the Fuck.
Well, can I tell you what the reason why I'm only getting this game is because we got a T-shirt in at my job that looks really nice, and you only could get the T-shirt by buying the game. So I'm buying the game.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to play it just because it reminds me from what I saw of some of the Zero G sections of Dead Space, and I like that. But beyond that. I don't know. It's still fucking weird to me. Maybe I'll Redbox it at some point, but I can't commit to fucking buying that. I just can't do it.
Well, I'm not a big Call of Duty person, but I want it just for the T-shirt. So that's it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there are parts of that I saw that I actually want to play. They look interesting for.
I don't care nothing about.
Fucking ever.
Look, I don't care nothing about it because I got Titanfall 2. I'm good to go. I just want to, I'm going to get the game, play it, be like, okay, that was good, that was fun. Anyone who needs help or want to do multiplayer, I'll do that with them. That's completely fine. But you see my nice, pretty T-shirt? Yay. and that's pretty much
and then
it.
on PS4, you getting that on Xbone?
I get it on Xbox One.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like my PS4, the next game that I'm getting for it, it's The Last Guardian. I'm still debating on Final Fantasy 15. I'm going to wait for the reviews and see what people say, which version runs better.
I tell you what, man, if you're getting that on Xbox One, 4 to 6 months down the road when you're bored of it and you're not playing it anymore, just FedEx it to me.
Oh,
I'll fuck around with it.
Oh, trust me. Probably when I'm done with it, 2 weeks after I'm done playing with that game, you'll probably see it in the mail and be like, just ship it back when you're ready. So, but we're actually going to get into the show. This episode, we're actually going to be doing
We didn't start yet? The fuck have we been doing?
We're getting into the topics.
We recorded that shit, right?
Yes. All probably 25, 50, whatever time it is. But we're going to get into the show. This episode, we're actually going to be doing 3 topics. So it's kind of a news episode. And that's just responding. Normally we do topics and weird other stuff. And we pretty much could talk for an hour or 2 and just have y'all record it. But I'm not at the house.
We're talk for an hour or 2 about that song, Go Robot.
Oh, we can, but you'll probably just end up dropping into the episode, and I'll probably just start replaying it and listening to over and over. Such a good song. We were talking. Okay, before we get into the show, the topics, because you brought it up. I don't know. It might just be me, but there's been a resurgence of 80s pop sound, and it sounds really good and catchy.
The whole new Daft Punk album was a lot of like very old school reminiscent
Yes.
sound too.
Cardi,
Wasn't by any stroke of the imagination.
some people might laugh at me, but Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotions, her second album, Emotions, it's a 80s pop sound. It's amazing, drop dead amazing. It's so good. But she also released an album of B-sides, like a little EP. Completely amazing, dude. Like I was just like, this might be my album of the year when it came out. And Emotions side B is literally bonkers and crazy. It's just so good. It's just something about the 80s pop sound of now that it just sounds good to dance to and drive along. So Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I can't put that album in my contention for album of the year though, because I've got two high contenders, because Blue October's got their new album Home out this year back in April. April or March, somewhere right in there. April. And that's actually still been sitting impressively well on the charts, to the point they actually had to cancel a bunch of overseas shows and postpone them to next year, because the album is still tracking upward in the charts, like
really
some weeks after. Like it's still sitting in the top 30, and it's climbing. That's the thing, is it didn't start there and start going down. It started in the 50s and started climbing up,
and definitely
and it has continued to do so.
Because they started their tour probably 2 months ago or a little bit
back in May.
Back in May, okay.
Yeah, because we went and saw the one of the first shows of the new tour back in May, down in Cincinnati.
Oh, nice. And I'm going to go see them in 2 more weeks, and I'm so happy. I can't wait.
You are in for an experience unlike anything else. And the other one has not actually released yet, but I've been jamming out to it for the last week. I was kindly gifted a copy of the upcoming Emperors and Elephants album, and it's fucking spectacular.
Really? I didn't know they was working on it.
Yes.
I didn't know they was working on a new
finished.
album.
They just haven't put it out yet.
Is it so it's been mixed and mastered, right?
When it comes out, the couple of songs that you need to listen for specifically, Porcelain Kiss is fantastic, and Chicago is so good. Oh my god, I love Chicago. But like everything else on there is great too. I've got maybe one or two small qualms with like 2 songs, but one of them has even started growing on me, and the other I'm still mixed feelings about. But I've already been chatting with Jesse about it. Just said, hey, it's not that it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's fucking phenomenal. I can't stop listening to it. It's just that this one thing seemed like a missed opportunity to me.
And thank you, Larry, for introducing me to Jesse, because I fell in love with him. He is so downright just humble and amazing and charming. Like, I know he has a girlfriend, but I was just like, I just want to marry you right now. Because me and Jesse, we talked about BioShock, and then we started talking about Mass Effect 2, and we fell in love. And that was just like, you are so down to earth. Like, hopefully one day we do have him on World 1-1. I really appreciated him. He is just an amazing guy, wonderful singer. So Emperors and Elephants, did he give you a date on when the album is dropping or anything?
Not as of yet. I think they're hashing out some final details. I know a lot of that got kind of hung up in the works when Jeff passed.
Oh, that's right. And
it basically got finished not long before Jeff passed. So,
okay. Well, hopefully
they've been working, finishing that out. And actually, the producer on that album is the guitarist for Tantric.
You told me that, yeah. Oh,
yep.
wow.
Scott Wilson. He's the one that's been producing that album for him, and it's phenomenal. When we saw Tantric and a handful of other bands about a month or so ago, we ran into Scott, and Christine and I both had Emperor's shirts on, actually. And Scott spotted us, was like, holy fuck, I need pictures with both of you. And we got talking, and So I was like, no, we're friends actually with everybody. We know the lot of them.
Oh no,
So,
that's the picture that you showed me when I was there, right? Because, yeah, that was the picture that you showed me. Oh my goodness.
But yeah.
Because I think he's gonna.
But I tell you what, before we go any further, why don't you hit the pause button on the recording? We'll take a break, and we'll jump back into it and go a little deeper with something other than music. As much as I can still, stand to talk about music all goddamn day long. But you can take a break, and I think maybe I'm just gonna listen to fucking Go Robot.
Okay, and we'll be right back.
I don't take these things so personal anymore. I don't think it's irreversible anymore. Somebody hooted and they hollered, can I buy your vow? Don't let her catch you in the act of throwing in the towel. And when it's not at ease, appears to be the flagrant foul. Can I put my fingers in your mouth before you start to wow? I don't think that it's so terrible anymore. I don't think that it's unbearable anymore. Tell me now. I know that it just won't stop. You will find your flow when you go robot. I wanna thank you and spank you upon your silver skin. Robots don't care where I've been. You got to choose it to use it, so let me plug it in. Robot, I'm my next of kin. Sometimes I feel like I'm a sentimental truth.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to World Woman Podcast. It's me and Larry. We just got done listening to some music and handling some business and jamming out. But we're actually going to get into our first discussion for today. Our first topic is Bethesda's game review policy. And before we get into that, I kind of want to read you guys what they said about it and why this is kind of a big problem. This is coming from give me 1 second. This is coming from Bethesda's global content lead, Gary Steinman, and he writes, at Bethesda, we value media reviews. We try to learn from them where they offer critique, and we understand their value to our players. While we will continue to work with media streamers and YouTubers to support their coverage, both before and after release, we want everyone, including those in the media, to experience our games at the same time. We also understand that some of you want to read reviews before you make your decision, and if that's the case, we encourage you to wait for your favorite reviewer to share their thoughts. And what Bethesda decided to do is that the media would not get review copies of the games early. They would get them the day before the actual game release. So I posed to Larry because they said it was successful when they tried out Doom, but a lot of the companies, a lot of media reviewers had to actually go out and buy the game themselves before they can actually review it. So you have a lot of websites that say review in progress. And I don't know if this is a good thing or if this is a bad thing, but Larry, should we care or should we be more concerned about this?
I think it's a stupid thing. Like, seriously, you want people to, buy your game and you want them to, put out reviews so that people will, go, oh, this is a great game, I should go buy it. But you won't let anybody start working on the game to review it until a day before it comes out. I think it's dumb. 100% stupid. But, that's just me.
And, well, do you think that because it's Bethesda, that it's one of those, because we're a more recognized company because of Fallout or, because of our name, we could do this and get away with it? Because I think, because to me, this brings concern, that is your product actually finished? Or do you really just want to be like, well, we want everybody to play, so when the game comes out, we could throw all the patches and everything we said. Now you got the somewhat full version of the game that we expected to, that you guys wanted to play. Like,
let's be honest, what game is actually finished when it comes out anymore? Seriously, what was the last time you bought a fucking game and you didn't need to download a day one patch for it, to play it? So it's dumb to me, seriously. Just send them the game, give them like a week to put together a review, and consider this is Bethesda we're talking about. Let's look at the types of games that they normally put out. These are usually fairly sizable. I'll say there's probably an exception for Doom because we're talking about, just a run of the. I'm not doing it any justice, but I'm going to say it's a run of the muck shooter.
Yeah.
But what was the last time a shooter really took you more than a couple days to finish? Anyways, I don't think that they're going to do themselves any favors with this. It's stupid to me, but. Nobody cares about my opinion anyways, at least nobody that, that will do anything with it. So,
well, do you think that they could lose a lot of business if this doesn't work out well? Because I know Dishonored 2 is like one of their next games that's coming out. But if that's the case, could they actually miss a week of sales?
And that's just it. I think there'll be like a 1 week window where there'll be some people buying it that were way excited for it, but I don't think they're going to get all that week one business they would have otherwise, just because there's probably going to be, a bunch of people that were looking at it going maybe, but I want to wait and see what the reviews say until I pick it up. And then those reviews aren't going to be out for like a week until after the game is out. And I think it's going to hamper their week one sales.
Yeah, and what does this even speak for like pre-orders from? Like now, well,
that's the thing. You can still pre-order a game and not pick it up until a week after, or you can pre-order the game and then a week after the review comes out and says it's shit, and you can just go get your $5 back.
That is true. What other parties follow suit? Like with EA, Activision. Like, do you think those kind of companies will follow suit if this becomes successful?
I don't think it'll become successful enough for it to matter.
Okay. And
right now, this will go on for maybe the next 2 or 3 big Bethesda releases, and then they'll realize they've got a problem and just chuck it out the window and never talk about it again like it didn't happen, like an aborted child.
Well, it's weird that they just actually brought this whole thing up because it's like, well, we know Bethesda don't release a lot of games throughout the year. And by the way that Fallout came out, the way that Doom came out and stuff, is that, well, Doom is like it's just a straight FPS. It's like you said, run of the muck. It's just violent and whatever. So it should, depending on what level, who's gonna play it. A game like that probably won't take you nothing but a weekend. But something like Fallout 4, you kind of need a week in advance to play that game. Because there's a lot to do. Definitely with Dishonored 2 coming, it's just like, if this is going to be like a stealth game, I don't know if it's going to be a more open world, if it's going to be linear or anything like that. You need time for the game. So, and
not only that too, but, looking at Doom is a remake of Doom. There's playing on a big nostalgia factor there that, everybody that loved Doom 10, 15, 20 years ago is going to look at it and go, oh, Doom looks pretty again. I want to play that now. These are all people that already played it and generally knew what they were walking into anyways. And it's not such a big deal there. I think trying to gauge this whole thing off of Doom is a terrible fucking idea.
And they actually got lucky that Doom was good.
So, because
I feel like that was very risky to give.
Per se, I just think if they're looking at it and using that as the benchmark for how they're going to run all the rest of this from now on, it's a terrible fucking idea. And somebody at Bethesda needs to get smacked in the back of the head for going, yeah, this will work.
Well, shoot, I know some people are
They'll
just
lose their job over this quietly, and we won't hear about it until like 6 months after.
and I know some people were kind of was wondering like because Mafia 3 like didn't nobody get no review copies, so they had to actually go out and buy the game.
I have no sympathy for that either, by the way. You know, if somebody's sending out review copies and you get a review copy, great. But if you have to go buy it, if you're a big enough media outlet, you know, as far as games review and journalism or any of that goes, that you are at any point being sent review copies, you probably have the operating budget to go out and buy that shit anyways. And I have no sympathy for you about it.
But
Deal with it.
But the thing about it is just that why would some companies like their PR they want the media to cover their games, give them a good preview and stuff, and then not to send a review copy of that game? Like if you press hard to set up these interviews, to set up how the game is in progress and get people excited, like get gamers excited for your product. And they could do a full-page blast about it, like in Game Informer, or you could go to IGN or GameSpot, whatever. And they did a good preview over it, and people are doing some good pre-ordering for it, like digitally or physically. And for you as a company finally not to send the game to the people that cover your stuff, that's problematic to me. Like,
well, it's a big problem, but by the same token, I'm sure that there's probably some politicking that goes into that too. If maybe a review outlet gave their last game a shit score that might have even been well deserved, there still might be some butthurt about it. And they go, yeah, we don't want to send this to you. If you want to review it, go out and buy it. But that's their own problem. All the developer, or the publisher rather, not even the developer. I put this wholly and squarely on the publisher. Yes. All the publisher's going to do is shoot themselves in the foot because it's just going to be that much longer until a review of their game comes out for people to go, oh, this is, decent to good, and I should go buy it. So.
Yeah. Although we don't buy Bethesda's games, and I can admit I don't buy their games because I completely think their games are broken. I do want to try Doom, so before I say anything more about it for like nomination of it's like really good, but I'm not into Skyrim. Fallout looks broken to me still. Would you still support a favorite company if they did this? Like if Nintendo did this, like with Metroid, would you still would you still support them? And I know Nintendo wouldn't do this. Please, Nintendo, don't never do this. In fact, Sony and Microsoft don't never do this. You guys are too talented, and you release a lot of great games. Don't follow suit. But would you support like your favorite company if they did this?
If they put out a good product, yes, because I'm still going to buy it because I want to play it because it's a good product. Or if they've at least done their jobs right in terms of marketing and, shown me enough to make me go, oh, I'm really interested in that. I will spend money immediately to find out if I like it. That risk comes with any new game that you buy, really. When you get down to the nitty gritty, that you're going to be shelling out money on something that you may or may not like. Even with reviews galore out, it's still going to be a case of you might find that it's not going to be your thing, but, again, it's marketing plays a big part in that, and showing me something that I should have an interest in, or show me why I should have an interest in this. So if they do their jobs right, then I will have an interest and I will spend money on the game happily.
Yes. Okay.
So.
And as professional Amtrak train workers of Adult Team, what would you review this? Like, if you had to give this a review score itself, what would you give it?
I would give it a dumb 0.5.
And I agree with you. Like, this doesn't get no Yoshi coins. It gets a bag of lint. And maybe
you can have all the fucks I give. Oh, wait, I'm out.
and maybe one strand of ramen noodle. Because this is just ridiculous to me. Like I even like I say, even though I don't buy their games, I think it's a bad policy. But it's their
I think it's going to be short-lived because they're going to realize they did something stupid, and I don't think anybody else is going to follow suit.
Please don't follow suit, nobody. Like if you don't,
anybody that really wants, to get the word about their game out there, they will do their damnedest to get their game out there to people to review it, to put the word out about their game.
And I agree. And that even goes for indie games. And indie games, I can understand that if they because it's additional format, if they're going to if you guys want to play this game, you have to buy it on the day it's released. I can understand that because they don't have the resources to send a physical copy of that game out. Now, if they have a digital code that they can email them for them to get the review, I'm cool with that too. But like digital titles and indie gamers developers, I could give a pass. But something big as Bethesda, to me that's childish, and that's, like you said, not a good business plan.
I don't even know that it's childish, but like I said, I think it worked well for them with the likes of Doom. But again, I think that using that as a gauge is a terrible idea for obvious reasons. Okay. And I'm sure that they're going to figure that out themselves here real soon.
They better do something. So we're going to move on to our next topic. It seems that Street Fighter might not be a viable title like it used to be. It only sold 1.4 million today. And now you have to understand that this is between PS4 and PC. It had a botched launch, and I think that hurt a lot of the sales. They expected to sell 2 million copies of this game, and it didn't push PS4 systems because Street Fighter V was an exclusive game to that system. But like I said, it was coming to PC. So what do you think about this? Like, Street Fighter...
First of all, who in the hell is playing Street Fighter on PC as their go-to? Really? This seems, again... one of those things that's just not all that well thought out, but I don't know. I'm sure that there's a small handful of people out there, but not enough for that to be a smart thing. I think it was stupid of Capcom, but I'm sure that Sony paid them big money for those exclusivity rights too, they probably got their money's worth out of it. But as far as pushing their product, I think it was a stupid idea.
Well, because the full game, like the story mode was like one match, and it was like real quick. Like, they felt like people got sent a half-baked game. And even when most of the content was supposed to release in June, that content got delayed like a week or two later. And it's just like, you cannot have an exclusive game be delayed for almost 3 months, and then delay the delay.
This can't. We've been doing that for a decade. It's called The Last Guardian.
Well, wow.
You walked into that shit.
I did. I had on my boots and my fur coat.
I totally broke your logic.
But you can't delay a delay like that. Like, The Last Guardian, I understand. Heck, that went from a one console generation to another. This is Street Fighter V. The Street Fighter series had to have like 7 iterations of one game. Like,
I think that's part of the other problem too. I think that some of this issue was the simple fact that Capcom has been doing this for so long now, where, anytime a Street Fighter game comes out, I'm sure that there's a huge portion of people that are looking at it going, yeah, no, I'm going to wait until they release the next one with the rest of the shit in it. Because Capcom can't seem to get a Street Fighter game out with all the content in it, and they can't seem to figure out how to work the DLC button rather than releasing a new full retail game instead, which is stupid. Welcome to the Idiot Club. Tell Bethesda we said hi.
As Larry drinks his champagne. You classy man.
Straight. Whole bottle straight out.
And this is the crazy thing. Pokken Tournament outsold it.
Not a crazy thing. It's fucking Pokemon. What did you expect to happen?
Yeah, but I'm just like,
If it's a niche Pokemon title, it's still fucking Pokemon.
yeah, but you would expect that a big title as Street Fighter V, especially on a PS4 that have all that's so, like I guess the number one console this generation, whatever, that got all these millions of players, and you only did 1.4, and part of that number had to be shared with PC.
I think that I don't know that Sony got their money's worth out of that deal, but I'm sure Capcom got their money's worth out of that deal.
You know what? I think Sony lost more on that exclusive, and Nintendo got their money back with Luigi's Mansion arcade game for Capcom.
But like I said, I'm sure that Sony paid Capcom a great big pile of cash. Like, it was probably some shady fucking deal that happened with a briefcase in a dank, dark parking lot somewhere with a couple of people in trench coats and someone in the shadows whispering, "Sony, is that you? You know, slide the briefcase over." And, you know, like I said, I'm sure they got plenty of money out of it to justify it for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it, knowing that they're cutting their potential install base just about in half, because fuck PC for Street Fighter. I'm sorry, it's a dumb thing. But I don't know. I have no sympathy.
And I think they did it so they could like be like, well, ha ha ha, Microsoft, we got the upper hand against you, and it's just like, okay, that's fine. Oh, we don't get Street Fighter V because we're still releasing Killer Instinct. People can play Mortal Kombat X and whatever. Nintendo still got Smash Brothers and got Pokken Tournament. Oh, you guys released Street Fighter V and it's half baked. Half of the game is here. Wait, and you played this and you paid for this as an exclusive?
But yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of things that impacted the sales of Street Fighter V that just didn't do it any favors. Cut your install base in half, and then, you know, piss off your the remaining people by the fact that you can't put out a whole game, or you can't put out DLC that you're going to demand that they rebuy the entire game for full retail price instead. Capcom's got some stupid business practice when it comes to Street Fighter that, you know, any downfall of this is their own fault, and I won't say I have contempt for them, I just don't care. Like, you made your bed, you can lay in the mess of it now.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be sad to see a Street Fighter goes away, because I think it's
I don't
been
think
on,
it will.
It won't. I mean, it took a long break from Street Fighter 3 to Street Fighter 4, but
Even then, let's be honest, Street Fighter 3 doesn't really count.
why not? I love Street Fighter 3. Well, Third Strike I love, I should say.
Yeah, see, I don't think that Street Fighter 3 or Third Strike or whatever the hell you want to call it was big enough for it to really matter. Because up until Street Fighter 4 came out, we were all still going back to Street Fighter 2.
Heck, we was going to Street Fighter Alpha 3.
So,
Heck, we was going to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, dude.
no, like I said, I don't think that the series will go away. It's too seminal to disappear off one stupid deal like this.
But it just doesn't have, I don't think it just have that power, that oomph like it used to.
Well, and some of that may be just by virtue of the fact that there's not been nearly as long of a hiatus between 4 and 5 as there was between 2 and 4.
Okay, that is true. As you skip 3. But
Yeah, I'm going to keep skipping 3 because 3 didn't matter.
Third Strike is good. I love Street Fighter 3. But
It's not that it's not good. It's just, you know, in terms of any kind of mainstay appeal, it's there like Street Fighter 2 was, plain and simple.
yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, I agree. So we're going to get.
Ask the average schmuck, how great Street Fighter 3 is, and they're going to look at you and go, "There was Street Fighter 3."
And I'd be like, yeah, because they jumped to 4 and 5, so you gotta have a 3.
To be fair, though, that train of logic still tracks by the simple fact that, ask somebody, what did you think of Street Fighter 1? And they're all going to be like, huh? There was a 1?
Okay, yeah.
So let's be honest, their whole numbering schematic is way out of whack anyways.
Shoot, Street Fighter 2 is considered as the Street Fighter 1 with the generation, and that's
exactly.
sad.
Exactly.
Just wow. We're going to go get into our last topic, and then we're going to do some plugs, and then we're going to head on out. The first official third-party title has been announced for the Nintendo Switch, and it's Nobunaga's Ambition from Koei Tecmo. Yeah.
I'm going to be real curious to see if that's only in Japan.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that because January 12th will be more official announcements of games, price, and the day of the release for the Nintendo Switch. We would like to, we haven't did this, so we're going to give it a little bit of time, so this is probably going to be our topic for next week. But what do we want our launch titles to be? And we're going to probably try to come up with 15 titles, so hopefully our very own Caramel Kinezikin, King Canada, Adrian Nieto would be able to join us.
The Minister of Maple.
The Minister of Maple. We love you, Adrian, but you are the Minister of Maple. You are our Caramel Kinezikin, and we're going to continue to call you that because we love you very much. And maybe our Professor Panty Drop, Mr. Tony Zilakakis, our West Coast correspondent. Hopefully he could join in and we could have a discussion about that. But what do you think about this?
I think it's a weird choice for the first officially announced game for the Switch to be Nobunaga's Ambition. It's a real peculiar choice. And like I said, I won't be surprised if that doesn't come to the States. In addition, though, I'm way more interested in the fact that Image Inform has officially announced that they are the first indie developer on board to get onto the Switch.
Yes. And they're the creators of Ocean Heart, right? Ocean Horn. SteamWorld? Okay. Oh, then they're the second. Then the people who made Ocean Horn, I gotta look them up and let you know next time. They also are going to be developing for Nintendo Switch. So I really can't wait to see all the indies. Shovel Knight has to be on the Nintendo Switch. Like that's just a dang old given.
Yeah, it's got to make it at some point because if they're still working on content for that. I can't see them continuing to work and putting it out on the Wii U because, let's be honest, that's got 2 feet in the grave already, as sad as that makes me. I think given what's happened over the last 6 to 8 months with the Wii U, that it's probably almost essential the fact that Breath of the Wild is being moved over to the Switch as well, because if it didn't, you're just going to end up with a Skyward Sword situation again, where you have a really great game that just did not get played.
Well, like I said, I think it's a good decision that they are bringing it to Switch and Wii U for Breath of the Wild. In case of people who can't get a Switch, they still have the option of playing it.
And that's, I would have been equally upset if they had not, if they had said, yeah, Breath of the Wild coming out for our new console only, and fuck every one of you that bought a Wii U in anticipation of Breath of the Wild.
Right. I mean, I could, and you know what? I'm down for letting Breath of the Wild be the swan song of the Wii U, if need be. I really have no problem with that.
That's gonna be it.
for a first party Nintendo game, yeah. I wonder what would be the
No,
last.
it's going to be it for like everything. Let's be honest here.
I mean, there'll probably still be some indie games on Wii U before they go to Switch, and I don't know what would be the last indie game for Wii U. But for as a physical game, I think Breath of the Wild will be the last, and I'm so down. I'm down with that. You know, if that's the last game. That game is probably hopefully take about 3 to 4 months to get everything and see and beat. Like, I'm still down for that, you know.
I don't know. We'll see what comes of it.
Just give us our Metroid game that we want.
Yeah,
and,
you know.
And I'm sorry, Larry, you might be mad at me, but I kind of want Respawn to work with Nintendo to make the next Metroid. After playing Titanfall 2, oh my goodness, my mind went crazy on what they could do with that game.
Nope. They just need to get the AM2R crew. AM2R needs that bunch of people needs to be the ones working on a new Metroid game. We'll get them, and we'll slap them together with the guys that did Axiom Verge.
Please don't go
That's
there.
like the ultimate fucking dream team.
Please.
No, and on top of that, no, we're going to make the holy trifecta of Metroid, fuck you. We're getting the AM2R people, we're getting the Axiom Verge crew, and then we're also going to get Chair, who did Shadow Complex. We're going to put all three of them together, and they're going to make the most amazing epic Metroid game.
No, because I cannot take 3 days off to drive to Indiana to take my vacation to make sure that King Gyros is in that house in whatever place that you take me, because we're going to Bleachers first. You know, I'm going to get me some good old eats. We're going to go to Bleachers first.
I still got to take you over to Smith.
Oh. I should. That's not the Italian place, is it? Was it an Italian place?
No, Smith's is another bar over in Mishawaka by where we work.
Oh, we're going to get that Italian food that I missed that Friday. Oh, we're going to go.
Yeah, that too. That's Lido's.
Okay. We're going to take 3 days. I'm going to take 3 days off. We're going to make sure that we both have that Metroid game. And we're going to probably try to be there 3 days. If not, we're going to get far. And we're going to eat and laugh and talk.
Oh, God. If they put that team together, I will take vacation time from work. And that game will be done in 3 days easy.
Well, you might have to babysit baby Olivia, my god niece, your daughter.
Oh, no. I will spend the money to get a babysitter so that I don't have to deal with the child for 3 days. That's entirely terrible, but I don't care. Because I would totally just put off everything to play that game if that was the dream team behind it.
Oh. Well, let's pray that does happen, because that would be insane. I'm so down for that.
Cite by Retro as well, because they actually had some 2D Metroid stuff in the works way back when as well that actually never saw the light of day either.
I really can't wait to see what Retro does for the Nintendo Switch. I really just can't wait.
I'm telling you though, Nintendo would be real smart if they wanted something easy out the door, you know, like early launch window. Mm-hmm. Grab them AM2R folks and the rights to that, and get that ported over and running on the Switch. Bam. That's easy. A $50 game on the Switch, ready to roll. That shit is done. It needs minute fine-tuning, and that shit is done.
I would pay it. I would pay the $50 for that.
Uh-huh. Damn Skippy, you would.
So, do you have a pitch or anything, Larry? Do you have here's the pitch, or was that the Metroid game?
I don't know. I'll give me a minute. I think I just creamed myself thinking about that. But, oh, God.
Oh, I just can't, Larry. You know I can't. You know I can't. You know I can't. I can. I would do it. I would literally drive up to your house and be like, we got to get food. We got to get snacks. We got to play this game.
Oh, God, yes. God, yes. No, I would bury myself in the theater room with all the lights out and all the sound, you know, turned up, and it would be fucking magnificent. But, no, I got nothing tonight. I'm just, my brain's in about 30 places, but
Okay.
I'm really curious to see more of what comes with the Switch, and I think honestly, once we see a little more in January, we'll probably see some things that'll make me go, this would be a great idea for that too. But I don't want to put my foot in my mouth yet because I don't have all the information yet.
Yes, we all don't have it. So, but that is the show. I'm still now just thinking about that combination, and I just can't. It's just like I would have to look at my bank account and make sure that I have money on my iPads to make sure that I come up there and play that game with you. Just like, yeah. But any plugs or anything on your side?
Let's see here.
Oh, and before you get to your plugs, I second Larry's review for the Super Game Boy. No, Super what was
Super
it?
Boy?
The Super Boy. I 100% with him. Everything that he said, he let me play it, and I literally fell in love. He gave me Ghouls and Ghosts, which is like Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is the hardest game. But yes, it's the bee's knees. It is the 4 out of 5 Yoshi coins. I would give it a 5, but I didn't get to play Turtles in time, so I gotta give it a 4 out of 5. But it's very light. It plays super well, really, really good. Handles very well. It does feel like playing the Super Nintendo, and it's, like I said, it's very light and stuff. So I give it a 4 out of 5, and I agree with Larry's review about that system.
Told you it was a sweet piece of hardware. Totally worth the buy.
Yeah, but any plugs or anything?
Definitely keep an eye on our Facebook page. Over the last week, for anyone with an Xbox One, you'll notice that there was a link for a free copy of Borderlands: The Handsome Collection. So keep an eye on the Facebook page, because anytime I see stuff out there of free games, discounts, or cool giveaways, shit like that, I will stick it up on the Facebook page. Obviously, I know we're still about 2 months out from the calendar flipping over to 2017.
Yes.
But hang with us till then, because once that calendar flips over, we're going to start making a bigger push for some original content on the Facebook page as well, and also working on another thing that I did not have any time to work on over the last 2 weeks with everything that was going on. And this week, with any luck, I may make a bigger push to get on that. And I need to talk to Adrian about getting some artwork together for that project, too. Yeah. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But beyond that, no, I got nothing.
And you guys could hear my show Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. You can hear this show, World 1-1, on the same things. Definitely archive.org. Do check us out on there. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook on our World 1-1 podcast. I am doing a lot with other people, Team Nerd, DNA. But you guys can read my blogs, Optional Opinion, on IGN.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. You can email this show at world11podcast@gmail.com. Check out some of our writers on World 1-1. Adrian got a blog up. He's been doing some artwork. Larry's probably gonna be getting some stuff up there. I definitely got to be dropping more content on there. Get some stuff up there. Hopefully, cause I do have a WordPress, so I might be trying to get some World 1-1 WordPress stuff up there, in the future. But yeah, check us out. We thank everybody for listening to the show, everybody who's been interacting with us, who's been leaving positive messages and stuff, who've been gaming with us. We really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. And with that, I believe we will see you guys next time. Yes, we will see you next time. I will have a review of Kingsglaive. Because I'm going to be watching the Final Fantasy movie, kind of like right after this episode, because I do want to see it. So, thank you guys for tuning in. And with that, anything else, Larry, that you got to say before I do want to pass on,
shout out to a couple of other fine folks that have done some great work. Make sure you check out Fandom Furniture.
Yes, we will be having them on the show. I meant to get in contact with them, and I do. They're down to doing a show on a Sunday, so hopefully me and you could get that together. And
that'll take some coordinating and figuring out when
yes.
when she's not singing on a Sunday. So,
and I gotta say they're so down to earth. Oh, you talking about like Jesse? I thank you for me introducing me. Thank you for introducing me to them too, because they are they are so they're just amazing people. Like I fell in love with them too.
So that and I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but check out Emperors and Elephants Facebook page and get in touch with them if you can get your hands on their first album, Devil in the Lake. That's absolutely phenomenal too. Go buy that shit.
Yes, I hope I see Jesse at the Blue October because I once.
It sounds like him and Amanda are going to be there, so you're probably going to see him. But yeah, like you said, day before Thanksgiving, they're doing an acoustic show out in Fox Lake. There, I know it's a little bit of a drive for you, but it's worth going.
Oh, did you say the day after? I wonder.
Day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, the day before Thanksgiving, which is a Wednesday night. That should be good because I think I usually work in the morning, and so I probably would be off by the time they get ready to do their show. I just got to
play with their new guitar player. Apparently, a 17-year-old virtuoso. Took him a matter of weeks. He had all their old stuff and the new stuff memorized by heart.
Is he still in high school though?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have to find a venue where they're playing at, and I wonder if I could buy tickets online or if I could just buy them at the door.
It's a free show.
Oh, it's a free show? Oh,
it's a free show. Check their Facebook page. You'll find details.
Ooh, okay. And then I'll just go and see and report back. Because, like I said, Jesse's a great singer, just an amazing artist. And I can't wait to hear them for the first time. And then I should wear a Mass Effect t-shirt. Or something like that. But once again, we're professional of a train wreck. But that's the show. We sometimes get off a topic, and I know we want to end and stuff, but we just like having good discussions sometimes. And with that, everybody, once again, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Like I said, we do appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time on World One Podcast. And we are out.
Peace out.
Peace out. Go, Robot. Go, Robot, go. I think that's it.
That's it. We're good.
All right. See you guys later. Peace.